Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you Sunday, July the 16th. The year's 2023. Weekly open and gap. Let's talk trading. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. And just in case you're wondering, I did not put out the weekly end video. I was traveling, so I wasn't. When I got there on Friday, the internet wasn't very good, so I couldn't make a video. So let's go ahead and take a look here at the weekly. We've got a few gaps that haven't filled. The pound gap down, but it filled that gap. Wasn't much of a gap, it doesn't look like. If we zoom out to the monthly, we can see we've got we're 400 pips above the monthly open, 55 off the high, and 429 off the monthly low. And if you look to the left, you can see right where price had difficulty, right here, back April 01, that open. Okay, we're putting in the opening range for the week. We are almost 8 hours into the trading day, but we've only got 16 pips of range, so not much price action. For the year, 998 pips above the yearly open, 55 off the yearly high, which we put in last week. We had an inside bar 8 days ago, an inside bar, weekly inside bar 4 weeks ago, and a monthly inside bar 5 months ago. And you can see we're way above all of the highs there. But if you look at the dashboard, there's lots of inside bar action happening. Once again, only 17 pips of range for the pound, only one pair over 100 pips. That's the pound Australian dollar. So I'm wondering if there was something going on with the Australian dollar, but I don't see any other large ranges with Australian dollar pairs. So, and the ranges with the other pound pairs aren't large. So not sure what happened there. Buy zone, we haven't even hit the buy zone, but you can see we're crisscrossing that weekly open every hour. So if you wanted to trade it during this time, there's a few pips to be made, not many, but a few. And of course the range is too low to consider the rat. It looks like we've already taken out the daily pivot, Bambino flex indicator saying go short. So near the pivot is short, near R1 is short. But actually that was the, that's the daily pivot. Let's go ahead and look here. So daily, we have not taken out the pivot. What was I looking at? No, okay, we're below it. And we have not taken it out yet. Notice we have, right now, 3 missed pivots happening on the daily. On the weekly, we haven't hit the pivot yet this week. And for the year, we've got a couple of missed pivots here from March. And for the month, we've missed this month's pivot, and we missed the April pivot. So they're both below. It might take a while for price to retrace back there. If it does this year, we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Looks like we've been in and out of that lower wick zone, which wasn't much of a wick zone. Now, since we didn't do the week ending video last week, we put in 392 pips of range, put that in the 91 percentile. You can see there was just an explosion across the previous month's high. And in fact, it was 293 pips worth high minus the previous month's high. But we did not break out of the low. And the high to the close for the rats, 49. Closed the low for the rats was 343. And for the buy zone traders, high minus open, 314, open minus low, 78. So once again, those simple horizontal line trades would have paid off nicely. Just looking at simple price action here. Once again, with this range, the only action here seems to be across the weekly open. You can see we've had 2 closes above the previous day's low. We'll just have to see which way price wants to move. I think it needs to do a little retrace from that huge move last week. You can see here on the M1 chart, 3 ball to 3 ball. We've been looking at that, exploiting that. And I know it's one of those things where it's tough. It's when it works, when it doesn't. Because you could see 3 balls get placed, but then they get pushed down. And sometimes, as I've told people before, if you're having trouble, move up a couple of time frames. So if you're on M1, move up to, say, M15. And then wait and see what happens. And if that doesn't work, then you can start to move up to H1 or even H4. Because price will retrace off of those daily lows on daily highs, which will usually be marked by 3 balls at some point throughout the day. And one of the things to look at is to get a retrace is for price to make a low and then come back in a short period of time and test that low again, but not break it. And then you see when it comes to the upside, it'll usually move. So that's just something to be aware of. So if you're on a 1-minute chart, see what happens in the next 5 to 10 minutes. So you can see here, price put in a low and just turned around and then shot up. But you see right here, it came back and tested, but not really testing the low, but it came back from the move. So sometimes it pays to watch price, see what it does, and then make your move. So for example, here once again, you see it put in that 1 ball, which was probably a 3 ball when this first appeared. Then it moved up, came back down, and then it actually broke it, put in a new 3 ball, went up, but then it came back down, but didn't break it, and then it returned. So that's just something to look for. So in some cases, like this one, you might miss it because it didn't come back and test it. Or like in this one, it came down and then kept going up. But if you can see it's not coming back to test it, then you know which way it's going. So the thing is to sit back and wait. Don't be the first mouse. First mouse gets killed. The second mouse, after the trap is sprung, gets the cheese. So just have to be a little bit smarter sometimes. And let's see. For July, you can see we've expanded that range for the year up to 1340 pips. We look at the range by month. You can see 484, we've already beat June. Looks like we may or may not beat February, we'll have to see. Interesting, last year we had a 486 range. We take a quick look here, showing the ATR percent. So we're already at the 77% level, which beats June and February. So we're at the third highest ATR, and we're only 2 weeks in. And we still got 2 trading weeks to go. So let's just see what happens. Could be interesting. And just to round things out, let's see, close minus year to date up to 8.27%. Not a bad return on the money. So that's just something for the longer term traders to be aware of. And let's see if there's anything interesting here on the trade reminder. And we are going to look at the monthly, price above the upper wick zone, and price turned up. We've exceeded the previous month's range. Buyers are in control. We're above the pivot by 450 pips, above the previous mid by 480. And a monthly pivot fade says to sell higher high, higher low. So we've got a higher candle. Dropping down to the week. Prices between the wick zones at the moment. Fade, pivot, sell. So anybody who likes those pivots, look for opportunities to go short here. And right now we've got an inside bar since we've just opened. And we're a little over 8 hours into the trading day. And we drop down to the daily. And let's see. Slightly below the open, below the lower wick zone previous day. It says sellers are in strong control. So maybe we return, pick up some of that Thursday candle that shot up like a rocket, come back down to that open. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. So, fellow traders, I hope you had a fun and safe weekend, and I'm going to wish you a profitable trading week this week. Remember, never lose more in any one single trade than you're willing to lose. You know, risk management is always important. And it's important because it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.